Assalamu alaikum, I'm Abdul Haseeb, and today what concerns us is discovering why. Although energy motivates, but charisma inspires. It's totally something different. All great leaders, they have charisma. They have charisma, and it's not that you're given the position of a leader and that automatically you're bound to have charisma. It's something different. It is something entirely different because charisma commands loyalty, while energy does not. Energy simply does not. And why do all great leaders have charisma? The question is, why do they have the charisma? It's just because they have the clarity of why. They have an undying belief in a purpose or cause bigger than themselves. An undying belief. And that's what commands their loyalty towards their work. That is what commands their energy. That is what motivates the energy. Now, when we can only point to tangible elements or rational measurements, the highest level of confidence we can give is that I think that this is the right decision. This is the highest level of confidence offered. But let's go to the next level. The next level, what would it be? It would be that although this decision seems right, it sounds good, even though if it flies in the face of all the facts and figures. Even though. And that is when we make gut decisions. That is the highest level of confidence we offer, that this decision sounds perfectly fine, even though if it's not correlating with the facts and figures. Well, that's the next level. But when you have the ability to put a why into words, when you have this ability provides the emotional context for decisions. And decisions, when you know your why, your highest level of confidence offered is, I know this is right. And when you know that it's right, when you've believed in yourself, when you're confirmed that this is right, not only does it feel right, but you can also rationalize this decision and easily put it into words. Easily. This is the highest level of confidence. And this is what we need to offer today. At all times. Now the point over here is that the why that we need, the clarity of why, this is not controlled by the part of the brain that only has the feelings and decision making, but not the language. We need the ability to put our whys into words. And the whys, they exist in that part of the brain that only control the feelings, the emotions, the expressions that we have, and our willpower to make the decisions. Only that, but not language, not words. And we need that ability. Similarly, on the other side, the whats, that what we do, those whats exist in that part of the brain that actually controls the rational thought and the language. Now we need both of them together, correlated. Both of them. Now to put it into work, to put this scenario into work, your leader is an inspiration. That leader is a symbol for the reason of what we do. Now this leader is the part of the emotional limbic brain. And this emotional limbic brain is the one that controls your feeling and the willpower to make the decision making, but not language. Similarly, what the company does, whatever the company says, wherever the company is going, that represents that part of the brain that controls the rational thought and the words, the language. This is how we put this into work. The leader had the charisma, the leader became the reason became the symbol of the reason of what we're doing, whatever we're developing, whatever we're working, all our activities. And whatever as a whole organization is the language, is the rational thought that we represent. Right? Although most companies, they struggle to differentiate or communicate what they actually believe, what they consider true to themselves. They struggle to differentiate even to express themselves. And when, as human beings, we struggle to put our decisions, our feelings, our emotions into words, what happens? We take the help of figurative language as a whole, like metaphors, analogies, similes, personifications, different all of them, but only in an attempt to communicate how we feel. Only in that attempt. We create the tangible things for people to believe in what we believe to say. We use symbols. We use language. And in this case of communication, it's all about listening and watching. Your symbols, there's always a symbol, if we consider the sports companies, Adidas has a symbol which has evolved all over the years. It has represented how their rational thought had changed all over the years, how they wanted to express themselves, how they wanted to differentiate their thoughts. It's just a matter of how they considered themselves all those years. Nike has their own. So simply, the point over here is that symbols, they have power. They have meaning. And why do they have meaning? Why do they have meaning? There's no other reason. It's because we are the ones who give them the meaning. We are the ones who give them the boldness, the power. We are the ones who are expressing ourselves. This is our rational thought. This is our communication. And we are using these symbols, right? A logo, it's only powerful. It only becomes a symbol of someone who is known by that symbol only when it inspires people. Only then can it be called a true symbol. Because it's communicating what you believe true to yourself, what you want others to believe. That is what a symbol is, because it has all the power you have. Although that's just a start, right? Most companies still fail. Even if they have the symbol, they still fail. Why do they fail? That is because they have failed. Not because they haven't worked hard, they haven't put things together, or probably they haven't. They haven't sorted out the fact that your whys need your hows. When you know that you have a why, to consider that why do you have to do this task, there's always a reason, right, which is the why, but how to execute that task, how to put things into action, how to get things done. And that is what a leader is there for, to guide. And behind every why type of leader, there's a how type of leader. And to be very precise, there is a large difference in that. When we consider the why type of leader, we are looking towards those overactive, imaginative visionaries who have overactive imaginations, who think that whatever they can imagine, they're optimists, right? We can label them as optimists who think that they can accomplish everything they can imagine. Well, that's good. And they tend to see things that people can't see. And I do not mean the ghosts or the revenge sort of thing that they have done. So I certainly do not mean that. The things they see are like the future. They see the future only. And on the completely other hand, on the contrast, when we have the how types, they're more practical, they're more realists, they're more realistic. That's the point. They tend to see things which people can see. Development, construction, progress, which people can't see. And they tend to do better at those things, better at building all of them. That is why behind every why type of leader, there's a how type of leader. That is why. But since we are going from what, why, and how, there's always the clarity of why, which has the most immense power. And the other twos are the subdivisions which take things together. But how do we find a why? Where does a why originate from? Right? Where do we find it? It's not in the market. This is one thing for sure. And since we're speaking of market, when we start a business, when we start to work, we think that market research is the key. We research in the market, the different prices, everything else, all the financial, the theoretical and statistical measures. We take them. We know our customers, and then we build our fort. But the why does not come from looking ahead. It does not come from looking ahead of what you want to achieve or strategizing for it, an appropriate strategy to achieve what you want to achieve. The why does not come from this. And certainly the why is not born out of market research. It is not. Simply isn't. When we start a business, what is there? There's a split, an idea that happens. Every business starts from there, right? That's what I believe. An idea comes to anyone and he starts to execute it. But there's not the why in them. And when ideas at the beginning, they're always fueled by passion. Passion, interesting word. It's just an emotion, it's just a powerful word. It's just that compelling emotion that sometimes causes us to do the irrational things. It's just that. But the thing over here is that the why is within you. The why exists within you. And once a person knows where his why is and has extracted it out, the hardest part, you must be thinking this was the hardest part. The hardest part is to remain true to it, is to maintain it, is to take it along with you at all times, is to keep it best before eternity. That's your why. And it's within you. Well, let's put it this way, that when you're up against the world, right? When you're up against the world, you want to compete with others, you want the competition from others. No one wants to help you. I do not know any single person who would help me to compete better with him. No one would actually help you to analyze their mistakes, their weaknesses, and let you compete at the top. No one would. That is why your why remains in you, because everyone would help you when you compete with yourself. When you're competing with yourself, everyone wants to help you. Everyone. This is true. That is why your why exists within you. When we do business, when we start the business, there is better service, more features, right? This is what we consider the customer care, service, and all. This is what we consider. But what we are not considering is the clarity of why. This is the thing, how we do it. This is the aspect of how we do it. Well, that is good. We need the how. We need the how for the why to have a lasting success. But if you're stuck at the how never works unless the why has arrived. Never. So the point over here is that For example, let's just imagine that you come to work every single day, not to be better than others, not to